Alrighty, boys and girls, well, in today's video, I'm gonna share with you a secret pattern that plays on these meme coins on Ethereum, where you can make $10,000 daily using this exact strategy that I found that plays out a lot on these meme coins that I'm gonna share with you here. And it works so well that it should be behind a paywall, but I'm gonna share it with you today for free. Exactly. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. First, what we wanna see is the trending. So on ETH, the trending usually is way more powerful than on Solana, right? So what we've seen recently, right? Everybody's trading on Solana, trying to play these bonk bots and trying to work for pennies, like $100 in JET and go away and all that stuff. And a lot of people are forgetting that Ethereum basically is the king chain. Ethereum has the highest volume. Ethereum has a lot of these trading bots, these market makers, there's a lot of stuff that is going on Ethereum that a lot of people are not paying attention to. That's why this is an edge, right? So in the crypto space, if you actually want to make money, you need to have an edge, something that few people are gonna know about. Well, now maybe 2,000 people or 2,000 people are gonna watch this video, so all of these people are gonna know against the millions that are in the crypto space. So good enough, right? I can share it in peace now when we don't have enough people looking around. So why one notice now? Why Ethereum? So just so you know why Ethereum is the biggest chain, has the most of the volume, most of these bots, most of these like buys and sales and people trading, and big buyers and big sellers and a lot of volume, and most importantly people hold, right? So that also helps the price to go up faster and consolidate, right? So hold support, so we can find an actual support and accumulation, and then the price moves back up, which is what we are planning to bank on, right? The price going up and then the price going down. So that's very important, which very rarely happens on Solana, right? So what do we do first? You need to know, if you are planning to go through with this, you need to have a watch list. This is very important. Like you can use a notebook or like a paper or something, but you need to follow these coins very closely on the daily to watch out for what they are doing. First thing you want to do is go to DEX Screener, and you see this fire here. That's the trending on DEX Screener on Ethereum. If you don't know how, you can go here on the left and you click ETH, right? Once you are on ETH, you choose any coin, basically top any coin here, and then you will see the fire here, which shows you the top trending meme coins on, or coins basically on Ethereum. So you see here we have a lot of these coins, right? Like there are many coins here trending. So what I like to find is something related to a narrative as well. Very important. Note that down. So narratives important because also we want to buy into something strong, right? So recently we've seen Memecoins. So Memecoins was basically Trump talking about him trying to bring a new economy to the US instead of the Bidenomics. So now we're gonna have Memecoins. So also you need to be a bit more active on Twitter, or follow me on Twitter, link in the description. I usually retweet those new trends and stuff like that. You need to be aware of those. Also, just to emphasize that only Ethereum, that doesn't apply to any other chain other than Ethereum. So now we find a Memecoins, right? A fresh example. So what did this do, right? So it's been trending all this time, or since it got listed on DEX Screener. What these coins do is they play this exact pattern that we're gonna see here. Now, what we see, this coin launched, right? Launched at 4K. So basically you couldn't get here a 4K market cap, then went to 2 million, then just went way higher, right? This was the first stop. And then something happens with these coins, right? What they do is they sell off for a long time. Like this is the 5-minute chart, by the way. So this all can be done within a day, right? And I will show you how it can be done, like how a 10K can be made within a day or less, right? Less than 24 hours. So this 6 million here went to 6 million, then down to 1 million, right? Then down to 1 million, and it spent some time here. So what I know is this is a new fresh narrative. This coin already hit the trending, and it's been on the trending for a while. It's the Memecoins, like the trend and all that. And then it does this, right? It started accumulating here. Now, some will go down, right? Some will never come back, or they will pump. We have two options, right? So most of the Solana ones go down. Each ones, they either keep going sideways, so they give you that time, or like if it spends like a week trending here, ranging, and nothing happens, you can just leave your trade, right? Nothing happens. But if we zoom in here, right? Like you could wait for this, it accumulates, and then it shows some strength. It went like from 1 million, look at that, from 1 million to 3 million. So that's like a 3x here. If you put 1,000, you have 3,000, but then it goes down again, right? It goes to 1 million, and then it just keeps going sideways. So it gives you time, right? And then it starts skyrocketing again. It starts pumping, and then the pump starts, right? So this is the first pattern you want to be looking for. It's this exact thing, like it pumps and then nothing happens and then suddenly it starts pumping. And if you got in at 1 million, right, you see it went to 10 million, which is a 10x. So if you put $1,000 here, you'll have 10k, and then this thing is gonna go down, and it's what it's gonna do again. It's gonna do the same thing again, down here, and then boom. But how do we know support? This is very important. So there is also, if we go to trending, there is also this coin, ETH, right? Now, by the way, these are not coins that I'm investing into long term or nothing like that. This is purely for trading, purely day trading, right? This is you trying to escape the Solana, the Gitlana curse, and actually find a way to make some money here and there, right? These are not long-term holds like the Bretts and the Pepe verse, the Dark Lords and stuff like that. These are the trading ones. Now, this is the most important secret pattern now. This is the secret pattern. So this coin also, ETH, has been trending on DEXCoin for the last few days also. This is the 15-minute chart. So it was launched the 21st of June. So if we put that market cap, and you'll see, you're already gonna start to see what I'm referring to here. So if we check the price, so it launched, right? It launched 30k, right? Sniper bots got in, and then it went to 1 million. Sniper bots got out, and then it went down to 300k. Most people will not get at 300k because it looks like what? It's not gonna happen, right? And then it went up from 200k to 2 million, right? This is a 10x, by the way. So if you put 1k here, you have 10k here. But this is the most important, right? So most people will not be here, or like, let's say you did not get in here, right? Or granted, it looked a bit risky, it's 200k, right? Who knows? Then it went to 2 million, then down here to 1 million, right? So this is what I want to get in. What most of these coins do, and this is the secret pattern, they come back to the previous all-time high. So if we put this wick here on the 15 minutes, you see like the previous all-time high, this pump and dump, it went up and again into it, and then up and again into it, and then slightly went below it. Same thing as we seen on Maganomics. It went sideways for a while. So it gives you time, right? It went sideways for a while. This is the 15 minutes. So this happened within hours, right? This was around 1 million. So it goes down to 900, even 900k, 800k, and then up to 2 million, and then down to 1 million, and then up to 2 million, and then down to 1 million. But what little do you know? So very important, as again, I have to emphasize this. You do this only with coins that are trending on the trending top 10, and they are low market cap coins. This is not for investing or long-term coins. Now, you see, suddenly it went from that 1 million range. Let's say you accumulated around 1 million, you put at 1k, right? It went to 5 million. So this is a 5x, right? And then today it's at around 6 million, and it looks like it's going for that 10k, right? Also, you can check the Twitter page, right? So if we go to the Twitter page, we see what's going on here now. Oh, it looks like they're getting listed, right? They're getting listed on exchanges. Poloniex, they got on Biconomy, right? Like Brett ETH, and you can see that they have some listings going on, right? I see that there is something going on with this coin. These guys here are going for it. It got listed on XT.com and also La Token and L-Bank. All that within less than 24 hours. So, which makes me believe this is going to $10 million market cap, right? So what I did yesterday when I seen this, I actually, by the way, I got into this one and the Maganomics, right? So it started here, and suddenly we've seen it going for that. So it's another 10k made out of 1k, right? You get in with 1k, you get out with 10k, and then you repeat the thing, right? So this pattern not only plays out with the trending coins, but with Pepe as well, right? So this is funny. Pepe is on ETH, and look at that now. Pepe does the same thing. Pepe likes to go back to previous all-time highs, like this thing, like he has not forgotten about the womb that created them. And you can see that Pepe also retested. Let's get rid of this. Pepe also retested previous all-time high here. Retested previous all-time high, bounced, and again now it's retesting previous all-time high, and it's gonna bounce again, right? We see this with ETH coins a lot. Now we see this is the first example where we see that retest of previous all-time high. Like this is the 15 minutes. So it's just that you're doing this instead of Pepe doing this over like a month period. This is done within 15 minutes or hours, right? Retest previous all-time high, send it higher. And the crazy thing is that it plays out a lot. So recently you've seen this MAGA, right? So we have this MAGA now going on. This is the meta now. So you see this MAGA coin, right? And this is the shocker now. You will see something crazy happening, right? Well, look at that now. So MAGA bleeded, right, down to the previous all-time high. Ooh, right? Spooky, right? It bleeded to that previous all-time high, and then it started accumulating. So if you've been aware of this pattern, you would be up now 50%, right? So if you put $1,000, you'd be up to $500. It's not much, right? Like in the cryptocurrency world, but that's the most important. It could still run here. It could still run because the the narrative is still going, because we see this Maganomics doing the same thing, right? Maganomics is also pumping and all that stuff. And you see this happening here. Now also, if we go to trending again, we have few coins, right? Like that we want to keep looking at. Also, this is the second part of this strategy, is you want to have a watch list. So this coin here, Inu Koroshi, this coin now is trending, right? It's just going up. It doesn't want to stop. Like this is the 15-minute candle again, right? So what do we see now here is, now we don't have a perfect structure because it's still fresh. So we want to go down also and check for these low time frames, like let's say the 1 minute now. So if we look at the 1 minute, we can see it's forming a bit something similar, right? Something similar, previous all-time high. It did not get as close. So it does not fit this strategy. And what I would do is I would add it on my watch list. So what I would do is wait for it to cool down and wait for that high to be made, right? So we have a lot of highs made previously. So the most significant one here is this one, right? Previous all-time high. Like this is the previous high before this, and then we had a pullback, right? So it's pulling back now. But the thing is, you can see also it's kind of ranging here. This is 5-minute candles. It started ranging here. It might just go back down, right? And then retest here, which is going to be around that 1 million. And then I'm going to wait for it, right? To do this again. So also we want to go to their Twitter page, right? The same thing that the ape got. Maybe these guys here also are some big guys, right? Maybe they are getting listed and we don't know what's happening, right? So we want to check what they're doing. Okay, so what we found is that also they just got listed on Bitmart, right? And also they get some decent art. They seem to be playing on that Japanese and Asian culture kind of art, right? Which is not bad, right? But the most important, right? We want to look for exchanges. So they do have Bitmart, right? So they already have Bitmart, which we know now this coin is not gonna rug us or like quickly dump, right? It's not Solana also, because this is Ethereum. These coins, they do hold support. They have strong diamond-handed people. This is the king chain. So we know, right? It's gonna hold. What I would do is I would wait for it to go back down to that support, right? So I will wait for it to come back here to 1.3, maybe a bit lower, and then I will accumulate here, right? $1,000, right? Because you can do 100, you can do whatever budget you're working with, right? I usually do 1,000, right? Because I'm shooting for that, like it's gonna 5x or 10x from here, and it's gonna be worth my time, right? So if I get here to 1 million and then I wait for it to go back up, and then I keep monitoring. Once I'm on some position, I'm gonna monitor how it's gonna perform, if they are gonna get more listings or whatever they are up to here, right? And I will see, like we've seen with Ape, right? Ape coin is still going for that 10 million, which then I'm gonna be looking into selling that. Now that's one thing, right? Inu Koroshi, I will add it to my watch list. I'll keep looking at it as soon as it hits my target. If it doesn't, right? If it doesn't come back here, then right, farewell. I'm not getting into it. I'm gonna wait. But I would think that it might actually come back there, right? Because of this pattern here. So that's important, right? It might come back here. You can see there is a lot of buying pressure around that $1.5 million, right? So if it gets back to just right below to the 1.5, I'll be like more considering, right? Also, this is the 5-minute chart. Now, what we know also, right? So some people will say, but what if it comes down here and the Swift goes down like that, right? Nothing happens. This is very rare on Ethereum, right? That's why I love Ethereum, right? If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see like most often I'm praising ETH and ETH is king and Solana is Jitlana, and because it doesn't happen, right? On Solana, you cannot really bank on these kind of plays because you don't know, right? You don't know. These guys, Solana, are not serious. ETH is most different, but also obviously there are rocks everywhere. There are coins that go to zero everywhere, right? So that's not to be taken out completely, but that's why we have Twitter pages. We go to Twitter pages, right? We see what they're doing. We see, right? With projects that don't have a narrative, I don't care much about their art. I want to see this, right? I want to see the listing. Already worked out a Bitmart listing, right? And we've seen this with Ape. They worked out a Bitmart, L-Bank, and all that. So it might mean something big, right? Although I try to just focus on the charts as soon as I am kind of confident that there is something going on. The dev is deving, it's cooking, right? I'm looking at it, right? Now, if we go back again, we can keep doing this over and over. Now, there is this Nora cat, right? Nora cat. I don't like the cat. Like the cat coins haven't really been performing recently, but because they're on ETH, we're gonna give them a chance. Now you can see also it's trending. It's number 6, right, on Dex Screener. Now when you look at it on the daily, it looks like, right, it looks like nothing. We don't have so much data going on, but we want to go to the 15 minutes or the 5 minutes or the 15 seconds, right, or the 1 minute. So you see here, guys, this also plays, right, like what we have often, right, with these these ones, they do this like we've seen with Maganomics, right? Like they go down and then suddenly they spike up, but then it seems like it's holding some sort of a support somewhere, right? Like you can see it, you can kind of sense there is a support here, right? Like there is, right? There is this, and it's kind of ranging around it. So now that I see this, I want to go to their Twitter page, right? Let's see if there is a pattern with them being listed and all that stuff in this trending going on here these days. Now, all right, so when we go down, it does not seem like they have many listings. There is this Moon Talk, which is really like a coin market cap for Asian folk. So it doesn't seem like they have some listings, right? It just seems like, all right, so it seems like they have a L-Bank listing as well. So they have an L-Bank listing going on, right? So now I come here. It's a 3.9 million market cap. It's a bit high, right? So that's not what I'm shooting for. I like to buy the 1 million cap one or below, preferably. But the money is money, right? Like they are gonna pump, right? If they have these things going on, like all these listings are coming, they are building hype, right? So they're building that hype, and we know now we have a support around $3 million in its market cap. So I would like more that Eno one, the Eno dog one, as the market cap is more around 1 million, but this one's building support around 3 million, right? So if it's not a long-term narrative, right, it's not which is not it, right? It's a cat coin, another one. Again, it's nothing special about it, right? There is nothing special about it really, unless I caught it here, right? Like you can see here at 1.5 million, which is like what we seen with, same thing with Maganomics. Maganomics did the same thing, like the same pattern. It goes up and then slowly sails off here, and then boom, it starts pumping, right? It starts pumping. So this also happened around the 20th of June, right? The 20th of June, which is like 2 days ago, right? So what happened 2 days ago? Was it the L-Bank news? So yeah, so also the L-Bank news happened around the 20th of June, right? And here we had a bottom around the 20th of June, around that time. So by the time the listing happened, we seen that pump, right? So that's why also, right, you gotta do the watch list. You gotta have them on your watch list, like maybe 4 or 5 coins max, right? You don't want to really have many of them, right? And then you watch out for what they're doing, right? Like you watch out for their Twitter pages, right? And then you see these, right? Now, usually these coins are not long-term coins, right? I just have to repeat that, right? Because we don't know, like these coins that quickly repeat, like quickly line up these listings and line up all that stuff and hype up their coin very quickly, very early. That's not a good news, because usually they just want to pump it quick, right? Pump it quick and leave it there, right? Or it pumps to 10 million and then it bleeds back up slowly, right? Like nothing is happening, nothing until like one, like we've seen with Turbo, right? So Turbo actually had the same thing, right? Turbo was launched by a guy on ChatGPT, raised some funds on Twitter, got listed quickly, all the hype very quickly, fast. It pumped like to 30 million and then back down to 1 million, right? And then it was again at support where you could buy again, and then it went back up, right? Only on ETH, right? So this new cat or NCAT or whatever it is also has the same pattern, right? It goes down, pumps, it goes down, but it doesn't have that pattern where it retests the previous all-time high. That's the most important one, right? That's like we've seen with Pepe, and we've seen with Memecoin, and we've seen with many other coins. Now, if we go back here, we've seen it with ApeCoin, and we've seen it with Maga, and now we have even that Pepe trending today, right? We have this KCAN trending. You can look at it. Now, you see now, so this K coin, right? So you see, I already have the pattern here because I tried trading it, right? So K coin, I forgot that I've been trading this one. So you see that the same crazy pattern, right? So you have this previous high, it got retested, right? It got retested and it flew right back up from here, right? So it went 2x, right? Or let's say to the high, it went around 3x, right? It went around 3x, but the problem is the market cap, right? So the market cap is high. So the best play would have been to catch it here, to catch it right at these lows. So let's put the market cap. That would have been a much higher return play on this coin. So if we come back here, that's what I like, right? So if we look at the price here, you see the price at 1 million, right? 1.3 million, right? And what happened? So this is the 4 hour, we go to the 15 minutes. So we have a much clearer shot at this, right? So you would be surprised, right? You would be surprised. So what happened here? It started pumping, right? And then after it pulled that massive pump, right? They all do that, like the massive pump and then slowly sell off, right? Like nothing is happening. And then suddenly they pump ETH coin. So what do you see, right? Previous high. So if I just pulled up this chart and I will come here like we did now with this towel coin, pumped, slowly sell off towards where? Towards here, right? Like previous high, which was around 1.8, 1.7, right? And it did even give a nice juicy dip, right? Like at around 1.3 million, 1.1 million, right? That's why watch list is very important. This is not your Solana, right? Like quick in and out. It takes time. So accumulation here, and then it skyrocketed. Like you already like put 1K here, you're at 10K here, right? Like you're at 10K, right? Even more, like 12K, let's say. And then it goes down to 6 million, and then it rallies back up to what? 20 goddamn millions, right? Or 18 million, 17 million. So my 1K would turn to 17K on ETH, right? And this coin will keep cooking, will keep doing its thing, right? And you keep following them, right? You keep following, like what's gonna happen? Like look at this again, right? So previous high, right? Again, comes back to previous high, like clockwork, right? Previous high. Maybe if it loses this previous high, there is this one accumulation here, right? Like this accumulation. Also, this needs practice, right? Like with time, you'll start to know, all right, this is much better. Like you will start to actually eyeball the supports and all that stuff. But just to make it simple, previous all-time high. Also, you want to look for low market caps. You don't want to look for 17 million, because now to do another 10x, it needs to go to 170 million, which is way harder, especially in today's market conditions, right? So this mostly gonna be very helpful also in the bull market. In the bull market is gonna be a much frenzier, crazier markets where these things happen on like every day. You have 10, 20 coins doing the same thing, and you have more options, let's say. So also here, right? So previous high, you see this previous high bounced up, came back to it, and then sent it straight up. This is a very like this thing here, guys, plays out so much. I had so many examples that it is crazy to just see this happening over and over and over. It feels like illegal to share this on YouTube right now. It's just because it's an edge, right? So when you are trading, you need to have an edge. That's secret, something you only know about, right? Only you know about, and you use it to your favor. Also, you'll be asking, right? Some people are gonna ask, but you know, like who trades these coins? Why they go to support and then suddenly pump? What happens, right? Like who trade these coins? Well, you need to know, guys, that a lot of the volume on Ethereum, especially, right, because it's the biggest chain, is artificial, right? It's bots trading, market makers, other exchanges. It's a lot of people trading on ETH, because ETH thrives on volume. People that are staking ETH make fees, right? Get paid by fees, right? By these fees generated through volume on the ETH chain. So it's in their interest to have high volume on ETH, and also to keep ETH a top chain. So they might even put money out of their pockets to keep the Ethereum volume up, right? Like we've seen with Solana, who put Solana up to become the biggest chain, or like the highest volume, right? Like you can see Solana is still the top volume chain. Who did that? Boncoin, right? Boncoin pumped, and then Dogwave had pumped, and then suddenly everybody wants it to go to Solana and trade there, right? So that's very important to understand who does these things, right? Who is pumping? Like when you get here, what happens when this happens, right? Like what happens? Well, basically these coins, when they go into this like this sleeping phase, right? Like looks like they're not doing nothing here, but basically what's happening is like people that bought here or here are selling to new wallets, right? That are not gonna sell, which they are not gonna drop the price further from here. And then every small buy from here, it also raises the float, right? Something that is important to understand, right? So more supply gets taken out of circulation here, right? Which raises the float. Like the liquidity becomes very thin, right? Compared to the market cap, right? And this helps it pump faster. Like few 10K buys will send it to 20 million just from this small tiny support, right? Because now the float, the supply is distributed. That's also something a bit complicated to understand, but just understand that this is very specific to Ethereum. Also happens on Solana and all those, but Ethereum really kind of has that going on for it. Like you can count on it as a strategy to be trading these coins on ETH, right? So we can find another example and we can wrap it up here, right? It's very simple, guys, like all-time high. And then let's see Andy, right? So we have Andy here. Andy is also trending today. It's a high market cap coin, right? But we can clearly see, like I think I made already a video about it. Now you can see this thing already here. So what you see here, guys, is also very interesting. So if you were trading, like you didn't even know what Andy is or what is the Pepe verse or what all that stuff is, right? You were just trading. Also Andy, right? So what you notice here, right? What we notice, right? So look, all-time high, right? Previous all-time high, guys. Is that it? Is that the previous all-time high? What do we see? What do we see? Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Out from there, from the previous previous all-time high. Secrets revealed, pattern, crazy stuff, right? Woo, spookiness. And you see this also with Pepe, right? It's been playing with all these ETH coins. It's crazy how it plays, right? Also, as you can see that Andy also had this pattern, which we call this accumulation, right? It started accumulating. We've seen this with Maganomics, like as the first example I shown in this video, right? Kept going sideways and then suddenly spikes up, flies, right? And holds previous all-time high. And you can even go back here, but now you can see, like, maybe we should put it on. It's already on log scale, but like it's possibly what's doing this here. Like just that the candles now we cannot. Now if we put that previous all-time high here, right? Put that, and we need to go back to the 15 minutes, right? We need to do that. All right, so now we have it on the 15 minutes. So this is the first all-time high on Andy, right? It did this all-time high, then you know, right? Nothing happened, right? So this is where the disbelievers and all that. Now we call them disbelievers because Andy is a Pepeverse coin, right? So anyways, this is where the people that don't like the coin get out and the people that like the coin buy, right? So the coin is changing hands from people that only want to sell to people that only want to buy, which means that they will not sell, and which means that also the float is reduced, right? Liquidity becomes thinner and thinner. As soon as there are those 10K buys and all that stuff, it skyrockets, right? It skyrockets. So look what happened here. Now we did not have a perfect retest of the previous all-time high, but it went to the all-time high, then down, then slowly started to accumulate around the all-time high, the previous all-time high, right? And then it went up, almost got back to it, right? Almost. And then it skyrocketed, right? And then it went to, you know what? It went to the moon, right? So also here, right? Sometimes you just get that rejection from previous all-time high, but then the price looks like it accumulates within it, right? Within it, like the price went up or breakout, right? If it breaks out and I'm like, all right, so maybe it's time, I will buy here, and then that's it. And then the rest is history. And let's count, right? Let's count. Like maybe, like, let's say people that are just trading, they are gonna sell earlier. Let's say you see this, it did a 6x and then started doing the same pattern, right? Like that pattern that just ranges, does nothing, and then it pumped and did a 20x, right? 20x, and wait for it. Let's go to the 4 hour. Wait for it, right? Wait for it. Overall, it did a almost 90x, right? Just from this tiny thing, right? But obviously, right, people are gonna sell way earlier. If you're trading these coins that we don't know, these Anus and Maganomics and all these coins that we don't know much about, right? Or like this ape now, right? So the ape is still pumping. It's going to 7 million now, right? Ape is still pumping. Anyways, this is a pattern that you can utilize and work with, right? Especially in the bull market. This is like one tool to add to your toolbox going to the bull market, something that will help you, especially on ETH, right? With these meme coins, that will help you do your thing, right? Do your thing, make some money on the side and all that stuff, right? Because now, you know, the market is not the most favorable and people are trying for coins that are not pumping, right? So this is something you can do right now or keep in mind. Like, so also there is this Pepe bull, right? Like just before we wrap up, actually I remember this one also traded that one. So you see this, right? This is also very important, right? Like look, it's the same goddamn pattern. Now this one is trending. Yesterday it was trending on, like, not yesterday, I do think it was, like, when was it launched? The 19th, right? The 19th. So yeah, it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago, it was trending, and then I seen this pump, and then you see this, right? You see this, now it's ranging, now it's doing that thing, it's doing the thing, right? It's doing it, it's doing this sideways move, right? It looks like it wants to break out, right? Now it's 2.2 million, right? If it goes to 1 million, 1.5, maybe it's interesting then, right? And then also we want to check out the Twitter page. Very important. The process is simple. You find the trendings on ETH, you go to their Twitter page, you wait for the pattern to play. If either it's accumulating or retesting previous all-time high, right? You go to their Twitter page and you look for signs, right? You want to look for exchange listings. That's the most important, especially with these coins that trend with no narrative or nothing. Like maybe this one is got some sort of a narrative, but the ones that don't have it, you want to be looking for exchange listings. So we are looking. It does not seem like there is much, but still, right? Still you can, all right, so there is something here. What is that? Ascend X is, you see, all right, so this should be okay. This is a listing. It seems to be, this is an exchange, right? There is an exchange listing, but anyways, right? So there was one exchange listing. That's the most important, right? We found one, but what I like to see, right, it's accumulating. Like the risk to reward also is perfect, right? That's what I like to do. I like to see the risk to reward, right? So now it looks like it's going down, right? I want to buy as low as possible, right? That's my thing, right? I like to buy cheap. That's what I like, you know, especially here on ETH. I know these coins, they can be aggressive, right? They can pump out of nowhere, out of the blue, for no reason other than just the bots decided, let's pump this one. So you see, even if you get in here, right? If I get in here now, if I get another retest, right? And it comes back up, it's a 2x, right? On my 1 or 2K, right? And then I'm end up the day with 2K, right? Like it's not really much if you count the effort you'll be putting looking at all that stuff, but at least it's something, right? It's something in today's world. And you see this, right? It could go back up to take out the previous high. Go look, if you buy at 1 million and it goes to 10 million, it's another 10x, right? So this is something I'll be looking at as well, right? This trending. There is a lot of coins, like literally there are a lot of coins. What you want to be looking for is always the low market cap ones. Like, you know, there are some that are already high caps that we all know about, like they're all trending, we know them all, right? Like also Hopi, where, all right, so Hopi also is a very interesting example because I remember that all, right? So I just loaded the page and you can see I've traded this also the same way. So Hopi, I remember this Hopi, right? That was one coin, like I do think it was the last month when it was trending. So it was trending and it did the exact same thing, guys. This exact same thing. It's crazy. It is crazy to see, right? So let's go to the market cap. All right, so I still have also my charts here. So you see here, let's put that all-time high, and as soon as it breaks out, right, I see it coming back to the all-time high with volume. You see this juicy green candles and like tick candles after this long nothingness here. It was 1.5 million. So if you just waited, look at that. That's even more crazy, right? That's even crazy. So we have this uptrend, right? But look at this. The secret pattern, the secret. Look, previous high, right? Like this is the daily candles, by the way, right? So they look like that. They look like it's a Solana rod, but it's the daily candles. We put them on the 15-minute, looks better. So you see this? This is a peak or a previous all-time high. We have this one and this one. Let me activate that magnet. So we have two. We have this one, right? And we have this one, right? So you see what happened with Hopi. So you see Hopi did this, went to $4.8 million in its market cap. And it got trending. I remember this day, right? Look what happened. It went down to 1 million. 1 million, right? 1 million, nothing. Even 900K at some point, come on. And then it went back up to 4 million, which is a 4x, 5 million, right? And let's say even people missed this, right? Like, let's say I came late, I did not see this, right? And it came back here and I see this strong, right? Like strong push towards, like you see this uptrend towards previous all-time high. To me, this is bullish. Remember this chart as well, guys, right? You see a long accumulation, then suddenly the price starts to go back up with volume, with a lot of juicy tick candles. This tells me, all right, most of the sellers are out. They're gone. The sellers are gone. Now the float is better, the circulating, the supply is better distributed, and there are no more sellers. They're exhausted. They're gone, which means the pump is gonna be much higher, which you see now. Let's say you got in at 1 million, you got out at 20 million. That's a 20x, right? 20x. You put $1,000, you got 20K with within like let's even give you a range, right? For those that like to ask. So you got in here and you got out here. It took a month, like 20K per month, right? Like 20K within a month. That's not bad, right? It's not much in the crypto space, but it's good money in the world out there. People work for this, right? People actually work for this. But you see, within 30 days, you got out 1K, 20K, right? And again, it went down to 5 million, right? People screaming, oh my God, that project. Oh my God, the devs, please dev, right? When Lambo. And again, it went to the previous all-time high as usual. And then boom, again, 40 million US dollars. Went from 5 million to 40 million. That's almost an 8x, right? You put 1,000, you get out with 8,000, and it's going down again. And look where it is going. Where it is going again, guys. What is that? Previous all-time high. Is that crazy? Look, previous all-time high, which is 20 million, right? If it goes back up to 100 million, right? Or 200 million, right? Another 10x, right? Although I wouldn't touch it now, right? It's the risk to reward is not as great, right? It's not like here. That's the question, right? You also want to have some risk to reward. Let's clean this chart. You want to have some risk to reward, right? So if I'm buying a coin here, especially on ETH, right? If I'm buying a coin here at around $1 million in its market cap, if it goes to 500K, I'm still only down $500 on my 1,000, right? And I can do this again on another coin. The risk to reward is much better. And I'm shooting for 10K, right? I'm willing to risk to lose $500 out of my 1,000 to make to make 9k out of 1k, right? Or 10k total. That's the risk to reward. But here the risk to reward is a bit not favorable, unless you believe Hoppy is a Bitcoin narrative and all that stuff, which is not bad. Like it's related to Pepe, right? Then we have to follow more a investor kind of mindset of structure of, all right, let me follow this coin, let me accumulate slowly, let me see if I do believe, if I do my actual research on it, right? Besides the charts and the patterns. Right. So anyways, guys, that's the thing, right? Simple. Previous all-time high accumulation around 1 million, old stuff like that. And then suddenly this happens. Sometimes it takes 1 month. Sometimes it happens within less than 24 hours, as I shown you now with ApeCoin, Maganomics, and all the other coins. You also want to build a list, right? A watch list. You can do it straight up here on Dex Screener, right? You can have a watch list right here, or you can simply remember them, or you can write them down on some Excel sheet or some paper, right? Remember these coins, and then once you're done with them, you move on to the other one, right? And remember, this strategy only applies for coins that are not long-term investments, like the Pepeverse coins, right? Like Pepeverse coins, you know, I'm big on that because I believe Pepe is gonna be the biggest gainer on this cycle, and it's gonna send all the other Pepeverse coins to the stratosphere because there is time to invest and there is time to trade. Investments usually outperform trading, especially for people that don't have time to be doing this, right? This is very time consuming. I have also to tell you, right, that you have to be around. You have to be around when this happens, right? When the previous all-time high get tested, you have to be always looking at this stuff, right? Every day. If you don't have time to be every day on Dex Screener, then investing is the way to go, right? Long-term projects and stuff like that. If you have time, you're on your hands, you're on Dex Screener all day long, now you know what to do on it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.